And welcome back to Miss Ragland's art class. Today we're going to do step 2 of how to do the positive and negative contrasting colors study. So this is the example that we are going for. This is the one I did. And I'm going to switch it up this time and do a gator for you guys. So yesterday we all made stencils of our animals that we're going to be using. So today we're going to use those stencils and a ruler. We're going to use our clean piece of paper. So first we want to make a grid. The last time I did a circle, so this time I'm going to demonstrate how to do a rectangle. I'm going to use a black pencil so you guys can see it better, but you guys just use your regular pencil. So what we want to do is just create a grid. It doesn't have to be super perfect, okay? It's perfect is boring. But I'm going to go around the edges of my paper with some straight lines. And I'm going to go along the inside, and every time I go, I'm going to make it a little smaller or closer together. So you guys follow along with me. You can do, if you want to do a circle, I have some compasses you can borrow. They're not the best, but they work. I'm going to make some of these different sizes and shapes just to keep it more interesting. They don't, like I said, have to be symmetrical or perfect. You do want to keep the lines kind of straight because it'll just make it easier when we paint them. I'm just going to do a couple more. Let's make this one close right here, close right here. Now the more that you do, the more challenging it will be. So for those of you who like a challenge, add more boxes. And for those of you who would rather not have a challenge, you do less boxes. I'm going to ask that you at least have 3 boxes or circles. That's the minimum. And I'm just going to do like a little tiny hand-drawn square in the center for the last one. Okay, so now we're going to take our stencil, and you can do this however you want to. I'm going to put this one up here just so you can see the example. You want to add your stencil to your artwork, all different places. I ask that you have some going off the page just for more visual interest. Try different directions. Since you have a stencil, you can even flip it over and do it going the opposite direction. So, let's get started. I'm going to just start going around this gator. These teeth are going to be very challenging to paint, but I like a challenge, so. Now remember, you guys are doing contrasting color study, so you want to use colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel, which is what we learned contrasting colors were. Let's make one going off the page over here. Let's do it right here. So again, you can do as many as you'd like. Let's do minimum 3 for those of you who like to know minimum. Also, it's a lot more interesting if at least one of them overlaps. So see here, I have just a little bit of overlap. Let's do some overlap. Overlap makes it fun. Let's see, where do you think? Let's have this one going in here. Now if you have a tiny little stencil, you can put a whole bunch more. You don't want this big open space with 3 tiny little things in it. Isn't this stencil handy? These are our homemade stencils. I think I'm just going to stick a little piece of a chomper out right there. Oops. And then for balance, let's put a little piece of his bottom half over here. Now, is there somewhere we can overlap one? So this is a chance for you to really play around with your composition too, to keep things balanced, spread out, interesting, to decide where things look best. So I'm going to overlap one right here in the center. So the center looks like it'd be the place for the most visual interest. The most emphasis. Okay, now make sure that you have your name and period on the back of your paper when you turn it in, but that's step 1 of the process, and we will do step 2 tomorrow. Thank you guys.